Greetings. In today's video, we'll be upgrading from 20.04 to 22.04 using a vanilla Ubuntu distribution. This is installed in a VM on top of a Linux distro that I use as my daily driver. What we're doing here is checking the version. That's the LS release A that you see. When you get started, you want to make sure your existing system is up to date. So sudo apt update and sudo apt full upgrade. Going through some of the release notes from Jammy Jellyfish, you'll want to go through these in a little more detail. I'm kind of skimming through them here, but this will be something that you want to make sure you're not breaking anything that you rely on for day-to-day activities. So go to that site, make sure you check out anything that you depend on. There are going to be some changes that you're likely going to need to make to your system if you're running Python, if you're running Ruby. A little bit of cleanup after the upgrade is completed. Not a difficult thing, but you want to be aware of that and be prepared. Don't expect everything to work 100% perfectly. Probably 95% perfectly is reasonable. And that's about what I get here. A couple issues I run into as we'll see later on in the video, but nothing that's a deal breaker. And overall, the upgrade went smoothly. I was happy with the performance. It was a definite improvement in the way that the system is operating. So we're continuing on here, and just about ready to actually start the upgrade. Go into the upgrade instructions here, and this applies again to vanilla Ubuntu, but it would also apply to most of the other variants, the Kubuntu and what have you. So we're going to go in and make some changes to the system upgrade here, get our settings ready to go, and then we will be pretty much good to go. All right, making our changes here, and I think we're good. So let's go ahead and hit that upgrade button. Checking the settings within the software and updates, the user interface. You can also do this from the command line, which is probably the preferred way to do it for many people. This is just a little more visual and kind of walks you through the entire process. All right, and here we go on the upgrade. And we're going to speed through most of the dialogues that you see here, but I do want to at least show you these so you know where the stop points are going to be. You're going to have to click through a couple of these. Feel free to look through the release notes, essentially what we saw within the browser, and just doing the downloads for the new software. Here we're seeing the instructions for Kubuntu, which is what I use as my daily driver. All right, and speeding through the download, getting the new packages. Installation will start shortly after we get everything downloaded. Run into a few issues at the very end here, so if you want to jump ahead to any of the spots that are marked in the chapter titles, feel free to do so. Pretty clean process. You want to start the upgrade? Yes, we do. That's why we're here. And this will kind of give you an idea of what specific programs are going to be upgraded, deleted. Again, a real good idea to look through these. Nothing nothing really broke for me regarding these listed items, but again, be aware of that and be prepared in case there's some issue. One of the things listed here is the add command, which I did not want to lose that capability, but it's still on the system, so no issues there. Right. Okay, the packages, and we're kind of fast forwarding through most of this. We are going to hit a point here where I did forget to do something, which we'll see very shortly. So you can learn from my mistake here or do the same thing I did and then just take care of it on the fly as we're going along. Okay, Firefox. Yep, Firefox is still running. You need to close Firefox if you're doing the installation. The main reason it's important, pretty much everything should be closed in general, but Firefox, as you go from 20.04 to 22.04, it's being switched over from install from apt to a snap installation. And you might be a little concerned about that. It's running fine for me. So no issues with that. But just be aware of that and make sure you have Firefox closed before you start the process. Here we're being asked about the unattended upgrades, updates. So I went ahead and selected the maintainers configuration. If you'd like to save your original, feel free to do that. Maybe make a note of what changed. Have not noticed any issues with using the maintainers edition, so that's worked well for me. All right, now we're nearing the end of the installation phase, doing some cleanup. And again, another dialog box that you will need to click through. Things that are being removed as part of the upgrade. At least skim through this, see if there's anything that jumps out at you that might be of concern for your day-to-day usage. Nothing really caught my attention here. Let's go ahead and remove. All right, and it looks like we are done. Let's cross our fingers and see what happens on the reboot. And here we go. First boot after the upgrade, the 22.04. Desktop came up fine. Overall, looking pretty good. Let's check the version. LSB release A. Good to go. 22.04 Jammy. That's our code name. That's what we're looking for. All right. One issue. We're checking Firefox here. Takes a few seconds on the first startup to get the snap going, but loads up fine. No issues at all. Again, very happy with that, so I would not be overly concerned. All right, now we're getting into another little glitch that I found. As I mentioned, I'm running this particular virtual machine is on QEMU KVM on a Linux system. Resizing. For some reason, resizing is occasionally problematic. So poking through the virtual machine settings here and discovered a mismatch between the video and between the settings within the virtual machine here. So follow along. Just make sure things are consistent, and I think you will not have any issues. Or at least that's what I thought. So I made the change. Let's go ahead and reboot. See if that fixes things. Restart. Bada boom. Here we go. Restarting. And the system is back up. Not full screen though. What is going on here? Cannot automatically get this to resize. So let's do a little more digging. Okay, can we manually change this? Yes, we can. We go into settings and change the display size. The VM will expand, contract within the parameters that we've selected. All right. Pretty sure we've got our settings correct within the VM details. Maybe there's something else that we need to do besides just the simple restart. So let's go back to our VM and let's try a full power down and power back on. And there we go, power off. Off button, shut down. And let's start her up manually. There we go. Get back in here. And again, cross our fingers. Spoiler alert, yes, this did fix it. So a simple restart sounds like a good first approach, but it was not sufficient. So what you'll want to do is power down the machine and the VM, and then power it back on. And you should be where you want to be. Automatic resizing is working as expected, as desired. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, a few things to clean up afterwards. Python, Ruby, if you have some applications that are using those environments, you're going to need to do some tweaking. Update the Python and virtual environment. You should be good. So with that, I hope this was informative, helped you out. Please hit the notification bell, subscribe, all those things. Would appreciate it. Have a great day.